So, let's talk about friendship. It's one of the most essential and, let's be honest, most complicated parts of life. Today, we're going to dive into what a guy named Ralph Waldo Emerson, writing way back in the 1840s, can teach us about navigating our crazy, hyper-connected world. I mean, you know this feeling, right? We're surrounded by people, likes, comments, but there's still this deep loneliness that can just creep in. So, what is actually going on here? Well, it's this huge paradox. On one side, you have this constant stream of interaction. Your feeds are crowded, your inbox is full. But on the other side, there's this profound craving for something more, something real. We don't just want company, we want that genuine, unfiltered bond that actually makes you feel seen. All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with this modern friendship paradox, then get into the spark versus the swipe, the power of giving friendship space, why truth is so important, how friendships change over time, and finally, we'll wrap up with the idea of the friend within. First up, the modern friendship paradox. Let's really get into what we even mean when we use the word friend these days, because it seems to cover everything from a lifelong companion to someone who liked your photo. So here's a huge insight from Emerson. He says we often fall for a projection, an idea of a person that we create in our own minds. And sure, that initial magic feels amazing, but his point is that the real friendship, that only starts when the fantasy fades and we begin to see the actual, messy, wonderful human being in front of us. And this gets right to the heart of our modern confusion. We've mistaken constant availability, the quick texts, the instant replies, for actual intimacy. But Emerson reminds us that real connection isn't about how often you talk. It's about the depth. It's about what comes alive inside you when you are truly present with someone. So just think about that for a second. When was the last time you felt like someone truly saw you? Not just listened, not just nodded along, but really, truly saw you. That feeling, that's the foundation. That's what this is all about. Okay, next up, let's talk about that spark. In a world of swiping left and right, curating our connections, how do we find something real? Well, Emerson believed you can't force it. You can't schedule it or build it from a checklist. It's that rare, almost magical feeling when you meet someone and it just clicks. There's this ease, this lightness, like you don't even have to explain yourself. Your soul just lights up because it feels met. Today we might call this a soul friend. It's a connection that isn't just about shared hobbies or convenience. It's a deeper resonance. It's an energetic match that feels instant and unmistakable, and it has a way of reminding you of the best version of yourself. So, who is that person for you? The one where all the usual filters just drop away. Holding on to that feeling helps you understand the quality of connection Emerson is pointing to, a quality that is so much more important than quantity. Now, this next idea, it might feel a little weird in our always-on culture. Emerson argues that the best friendships don't just survive with space, they actually demand it. I absolutely love this metaphor. He's basically saying, don't try to grab the magic. We have this urge to hold on tight, to define things, to get constant reassurance. But Emerson warns that when we try to possess or manage a friendship, we actually smother it. The magic needs air to survive. So what does this look like for us? It means letting go of the anxiety fueled by read receipts and instant replies. It's about trusting the connection itself. It's that quiet confidence that the bond is real, even when there's silence, even when there's distance. And this is a tough question to ask ourselves, but it's an important one. Where are you demanding proof instead of just offering trust? Because sometimes the most loving thing we can do for a friendship is to simply step back and let it breathe. All right, now for what Emerson would call the highest and hardest form of love in a friendship, truth. This is about moving beyond the small talk and into real soul-level honesty. And just to give you some quick context, when Emerson was writing about this back in 1841, he was a former minister who was all about finding a direct, personal, unfiltered truth. Think about it. We usually want friends who just agree with us, who soothe our egos. But Emerson says a real friend holds up a mirror. They care more about your soul's growth than your temporary comfort. They're the ones who will challenge you, and they do it out of love. In our world today, that kind of honesty is a profound act of care. It's risky, it's uncomfortable, but a friend who never challenges you, Well, they might not be as invested as you think. The one who's willing to risk your approval to help you grow, that's a sacred connection. Take a second to really appreciate that person, if you have one. Because that kind of trust is the bedrock of a friendship that doesn't just pass the time, it actively helps you become a better, more whole person. Okay, let's talk about change. Because friendships aren't static things, are they? People evolve, life shifts around. So, how do real friendships navigate all of that? Well, there are a few different paths. Sometimes you grow in sync, and that's beautiful. But sometimes you grow in different directions. And letting a friendship transform or even end with grace is not a failure. It's just a natural part of life. It's about honoring the season that it was meant for. And this all brings us to Emerson's most profound point. Before you can truly connect with anyone else, you have to first learn how to be at home with yourself. This is the final and most important question I want to leave you with. So often, we look to other people to give us a sense of wholeness that can only really come from within. But when you can cultivate your own solitude, when you can become your own best friend, everything changes. You stop meeting others from a place of need, and you start connecting from a place of fullness. And that is where true, lasting friendship really begins.